I was in labor when the photo came through, Bess.
I was in labor when the photo came through. My husband, her in white. A wedding ring. Not our wedding ring. A new one. He married her while I was giving birth to his child. The nurse asked if I was okay. I wasn't screaming. I wasn't crying. I was cold because I realized something in that hospital bed. He didn't just betray me. He chose the exact moment I was most vulnerable to destroy me. The contractions were getting worse, but the pain in my chest was worse. I stared at that photo. Wedding venue, white flowers, guests in formal wear, and him, standing at the altar with Una. The woman he said was nothing. The woman he told me not to worry about. The woman who was now his wife. While I was alone in a hospital room bringing his daughter into the world, I should have screamed, should have thrown my phone, should have called him and cursed him out. But I didn't. I went quiet, cold, calculated, because that's when I knew. I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to fight for him. I was going to disappear, and he would never see it coming. The nurse came back in. "Do you want us to call your husband?" "He's busy," I said calmly. She looked confused but nodded and left. I held my phone in my hand, staring at that wedding photo. He looked happy, smiling, like this was the best day of his life. Meanwhile, I was here, alone, in pain, carrying his child. The level of cruelty was almost impressive. Almost. He'd planned this. The meeting he mentioned that morning? It wasn't a meeting. It was his wedding. To her. He knew I'd be in labor. He knew I'd be alone. And he did it anyway. That's when something shifted inside me. I wasn't sad anymore. I wasn't hurt. I was done. Done waiting for him to choose me. Done being the woman who stayed no matter what. Done being loyal to a man who didn't know the meaning of the word. I deleted his messages without reading them, all 17 of them. Then I blocked his number. The nurses probably thought I was in shock, but I wasn't. I was finally thinking clearly, and my first clear thought was simple. Get out. Take the baby. Disappear. Make him regret everything. Let me back up 6 months. I was a waitress in Atlanta when he walked into the restaurant. Expensive suit, cold eyes. The kind of man who didn't ask for things. He commanded them. He ordered in Korean. I responded in broken Korean. He smiled. That was the beginning. 3 months later, we were married. 6 months after that, I was pregnant. Everyone warned me. You don't know him. You don't know his world. You're moving too fast. I didn't listen, because he made me feel safe, protected, chosen. He told me about his business, vaguely. I knew it wasn't legal. I knew it was dangerous. But I also knew he had power, money, influence. I thought that was enough. I thought love plus power equaled security. I was wrong. The cracks started small, late nights, missed dinners. Her name kept coming up. Una, his business associate. I asked him once, "Who is she?" He looked at me like I was paranoid. "She's nothing. Focus on the baby." So I did. I focused on growing his child while he grew closer to her. That was my first mistake. Trusting him when the signs were already there. 2 months before the birth, things got worse. He stopped coming home some nights. When he did, he smelled like perfume, not mine. I confronted him. "Where were you?" "Business," he said coldly. "At 3 a.m. Yes. He didn't even try to make it believable anymore. His phone was always face down, always on silent, always locked. I saw messages flash across the screen once. Her name, Una, heart emojis. I asked him about it. He got angry. "You're being paranoid. Pregnancy hormones." He made me feel crazy, like I was imagining things, but I wasn't. I started paying attention, watching, listening. His assistant avoided eye contact with me. His driver looked guilty. Even his mother seemed distant. They all knew something I didn't. One night I found a receipt in his jacket. Jewelry store. Expensive. A ring. Not my ring. I asked him about it. "Anniversary gift," he said. "For you." I never got that ring. But someone did. That's when I realized he wasn't just cheating. He was replacing me. And everyone around him knew. They just didn't tell me. They let me walk around pregnant and clueless, while he planned his exit. The day I went into labor, he was gone before sunrise. "Important meeting," he said. "I'll be back tonight." The contractions started at noon, mild at first, then unbearable. I called him. No answer. I called again. Voicemail. 17 times I called. 17 times he ignored me. I took a cab to the hospital alone. Alone. The nurses kept asking, Where's your husband?" "He's coming," I lied. But deep down I knew he wasn't. The pain was getting worse. Physical pain. Emotional pain. They blurred together. That's when his assistant texted me. "I'm sorry, you need to see this." It was a photo. Him, Una, wedding attire, smiling. They were at a wedding venue, not as guests. As the bride and groom. I zoomed in. White flowers. Formal guests. A wedding arch. He was getting married. Again. While I was in labor. With his child. The cruelty of it was breathtaking. The nurse came in. "Are you okay? Your heart rate just spiked." "I'm fine," I whispered. But I wasn't fine. I was betrayed, humiliated, destroyed, and completely alone. The baby came at 11:47 p.m. A girl, beautiful, healthy, perfect. She had his eyes, his nose, his dark hair, looking at her hurt, because she looked like the man who just destroyed me. The nurse placed her in my arms. "She's beautiful. Does she have a name?" I hadn't thought about it. We were supposed to choose together, but he wasn't here. He was with her. "Maya," I said. "Her name is Maya." The nurse smiled. "Beautiful name. Should we call your husband now?" "No," I said firmly. "Don't call him." She looked surprised but didn't push. I held Maya and stared at her tiny face. She was innocent. Pure. Perfect. And she deserved better than a father who would abandon her on the day she was born. That's when I made my decision. I wasn't staying. I wasn't waiting for him to come back with excuses. I wasn't giving him the chance to explain. I was leaving. With Maya. Tonight. And he was never going to find us. The nurse brought discharge papers. "Your husband needs to sign these too." "I'll handle it," I said. She hesitated but handed me the forms. I signed everything myself. Then I started planning my escape. 2 months into my pregnancy, something strange happened. A man came into the restaurant where I used to work. Older, mid-40s, expensive suit, quiet presence. He sat at my section, ordered in Korean. I responded. He smiled. "You're married to Park Ji-hoon," he said. Not a question. A statement. I froze. "How do you know that?" "I know everything about the families in Seoul," he said. "I'm Kang Min-jun." The name meant nothing to me then, but the way he said it meant everything. Power, danger, control. "Why are you here?" I asked. "To give you this." He handed me a business card. "Just a phone number, nothing else. If you ever need protection," he said, "call me." Why would I need protection? He looked at me with something unreadable, not quite pity, something darker. "Because your husband is not who you think he is, and when you realize that, you'll need somewhere safe to go." Then he added quietly, "Everything has a price, but sometimes the price is worth paying." I thought he was being dramatic, paranoid, but I kept the card, tucked it into my wallet, forgot about it. Until that night in the hospital, when I had nowhere else to turn, when I needed protection more than anything. I pulled out that card, and I called him. Min-jun answered on the first ring, like he'd been waiting. "I need help," I said quietly. "I know," he replied. "There's a car outside the hospital, black Mercedes. Get in. Don't tell anyone where you're going." "How did you know?" "I've been watching, waiting for this moment. Get the baby. Leave now." I hung up, wrapped Maya in her blanket, packed my small bag, then I walked out of that hospital room like I was just getting fresh air. No one stopped me. The nurses' station was busy. No one noticed me slip past, down the elevator, through the lobby, out the front doors. The black Mercedes was waiting exactly where he said. The driver opened the door without a word. I got in with Maya. We drove away. I didn't look back, didn't say goodbye, Didn't leave a note. I just vanished. The city lights blurred past the window. Maya slept in my arms, and for the first time in months, I felt something unexpected. Relief. Not sadness. Not fear. Relief. Because I finally chose myself. Finally walked away from someone who never deserved my loyalty. The driver didn't speak, just drove. Into the night, toward safety, toward freedom. What I didn't know, my husband showed up 3 hours later. Still in his wedding tuxedo, champagne smell, guilt smell, the boutonniere still pinned to his chest. He walked into my hospital room expecting to find me waiting, ready to forgive, ready to understand. The room was empty. No wife, no baby, no note. Just empty. He stood there confused, then panicked. "Where is she?" he demanded from the nurse. "She checked out," the nurse said nervously. "When?" "About 3 hours ago." "Where did she go?" She didn't say. She signed the discharge papers herself and left. He pulled out his phone, called me. No answer. The call went straight to voicemail, blocked. He called again. Again. 43 times that night. I didn't answer once. He sent texts, apologies, explanations, threats. "Baby, I can explain. It's not what it looks like. Answer the phone. Where's my daughter? I'm coming to find you." I deleted them all without reading. He checked every camera in the hospital, saw me leaving, saw the black Mercedes, ran the plates. Nothing. The car was registered to a shell company. Untraceable. For the first time in his life, Park Ji-hoon had no control, and he was terrified. If you've ever walked away from someone who thought you'd stay forever, hit subscribe right now. This story is for every person who chose themselves when it hurt the most. Drop your city below. Let's see where my strongest viewers are watching from. The car took me to a mansion, not a hotel. A private residence. Security gates. Armed guards. Cameras everywhere. Min-jun was waiting inside. "You're safe here," he said. "Why are you helping me?" I asked. "What do you really want?" He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Your husband took something from me years ago. Cost me millions. Cost me reputation. I've been waiting for the right moment to return the favor." "And I'm the favor?" "You're the consequence," he corrected. He showed me to a private wing. Bedroom. Nursery already set up. Medical equipment, everything I needed. Then he said something that made my blood run cold. "You can stay here as long as you need, but understand this. The moment you walked into my car, you became part of my world. Your husband will come looking. And when he does, there will be blood. Are you prepared for that?" I looked at Maya sleeping in my arms. "Yes." "Good," he said. "Because protection isn't free. The price is loyalty. To me, not him. Can you give me that?" I hesitated. This wasn't just shelter. This was a transaction. But what choice did I have? "Yes," I said. He nodded. "Then you're untouchable now. But remember, you chose this." My husband refused to believe I left willingly. "Someone took her," he told his family. "She would never leave me." His mother looked at him with disappointment. "You married another woman while your wife was in labor. What did you expect?" "That was business." "Business," his father snapped. "You humiliated our family. You humiliated her. And now she's gone." But he didn't listen. He convinced himself I was kidnapped, forced, coerced. He hired private investigators. They found nothing. He checked every hospital in Seoul, every hotel, every friend I had. Nothing. Every trail went cold. That's when the anger started. He smashed his office, broke furniture, screamed at his staff. "Find her!" he roared. "I don't care what it costs. Find my wife and daughter." But weeks passed. Nothing. His new wife Yuna started asking questions. "Are you still in love with her?" "No," he lied. "Then why are you obsessed with finding her?" "She has my daughter." "You have me," Yuna said quietly. He looked at her like she was a stranger. "You're not her." That's when Una realized the truth. She was the replacement, not the prize. 1 month after I disappeared, my husband was unraveling. He stopped sleeping, stopped eating properly, lost 15 pounds. His business partners noticed. "You're distracted, sloppy. This isn't like you." "I'm handling it," he snapped. But he wasn't. He showed up at Minjun's office unannounced. "I know she's with you," he said. Minjun didn't even look up from his desk. "Is she?" "Don't play games. Where is my wife?" "She's not your wife anymore. You made sure of that when you married someone else." My husband slammed his hands on the desk. "I want to see her." Minjun finally looked up. His expression was ice. "No. She's the mother of my child." "A child you abandoned on the day she was born," Minjun said quietly. "Tell me, what kind of man does that?" My husband's face crumbled. For the first time, he had no answer. "You don't deserve her," Minjun continued. "You never did. And now she's somewhere you'll never find her, protected, safe, free from you." My husband left that office broken, not angry, broken, because he finally understood. I didn't run away scared, I ran away protected. Whose side are you on? Comment below. Team her or team him? And if you've ever watched someone realize they lost you too late, you know exactly how this ends. Don't forget to subscribe. This story gets even better. 3 months later, Minjun gave me an option. He's begging to see you. 1 meeting, neutral ground, your choice. Part of me wanted to stay hidden, but another part wanted him to see what he lost. 1 meeting, I agreed. But I say when it ends. Minjun arranged everything. My husband walked in looking destroyed, dark circles, weight loss, trembling hands. "You look terrible," I said. He flinched. "I deserve that." "You deserve worse." He sat down. "I'm sorry. I made a mistake." "You made a choice I corrected. You chose her. You chose that specific moment. While I was giving birth, you wanted to break me." "No." "Yes," I interrupted. "You wanted me dependent, broken, easy to control, but it didn't work." "I need you to come back," he begged. "Why?" "Because I love you." I laughed. Cold. Hard. "You don't know what love means." "Please." "You didn't just leave me," I said, voice rising. "You destroyed me. You took the most vulnerable moment of my life and turned it into your wedding day. You didn't just cheat. You weaponized my pain." He looked shattered. "I know." "Where's my daughter?" he asked quietly. "Safe. Away from you." "I want to see her." "You don't get that right anymore," I said. "You gave that up when you chose not to be there the day she was born." "I was wrong." "You were cruel," I corrected. "There's a difference. Wrong is a mistake. Cruelty is a choice. And you chose it." He looked at me differently then. I wasn't the same woman. Stronger, colder, untouchable. "Your new wife left you, didn't she?" I asked. He nodded miserably. "She realized I was still in love with you." "How tragic," I said without sympathy. "You lost both of us. Maybe next time you'll value what you have before you destroy it." "There won't be a next time," he said. "You were it. You were everything." "Then you should have acted like it." I stood to leave. "Wait," he said desperately. "What do I have to do? Tell me. Anything." I looked at him one last time. "Nothing. There's nothing you can do. You showed me who you are, and I finally believed you." Then I walked out, final, complete. He stayed in that room for hours, just sitting there, destroyed. But I didn't care anymore. 6 months later, Maya is 8 months old, healthy, happy, thriving. I started working with Minjun's company, legitimate import business, good money, real respect. I have my own apartment now, independence, strength, freedom. Minjun visits sometimes, brings gifts for Maya. We have an understanding. I owe him loyalty, but he doesn't own me. That's the difference. My ex-husband still tries to reach out. Lawyers, family, letters. I don't respond. His family tried once. He's changed. He wants to be a father. He had that chance, I said. He chose a wedding instead. I don't hate him anymore. I don't feel anything. That's how I know I've healed. Here's what I learned. Some betrayals are so deep, they set you free. They show you exactly who someone is, and they give you permission to walk away. He thought I'd break. Instead, I became unbreakable. He thought I needed him. Instead, I found myself. The Korean Mafia boss thought he could have everything. 2 women, 2 lives, no consequences. But he forgot something. The woman he married wasn't weak. She was waiting. Waiting for the moment his cruelty would finally set her free. And when that moment came, she didn't beg. She walked out. And when he finally panicked, it was already too late. If this story hit different, smash that subscribe button. You just witnessed what happens when loyalty meets betrayal, and loyalty wins. Drop your country below. Let's build a community of people who chose themselves when staying would have destroyed them. Comment: would you have left or stayed? Your answer says everything, because sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away from someone who thought you'd never leave, and when they finally realize what they lost, it's already too late. I chose myself, and I never looked back.